We're hurting. Our profession is hurting.
I don't know that I would want to be a police officer in this day and time. What brave people.
We need to unite as a people together and say, no more will they take killing our children, taking our fathers, taking our mothers. What will be done about it?
This is THV11 News at 5.
Good evening. Less than 24 hours ago, 5 Dallas police officers were gunned down and several more wounded.
The officers working security at a peaceful protest over recent officer-involved shootings. This weekend, additional protests will take place in Little Rock, and officials are on high alert. THV11's Winnie Wright brings us that story.
John and Denise, today I was supposed to go with 31 Little Rock police recruits to the Civil Rights Museum in Memphis. Chief Kenton Buckner wants to introduce his new officers into understanding why some people don't trust police. That trip was canceled because having 31 cops on one bus could be a target. So today, instead of learning to love thy neighbor, the recruits will be on high alert for protests.
If you think that your city, that this cannot happen here, you are naive, because it can happen anywhere, particularly where you have strained relationships between police departments and black and brown communities.
In Dallas, the police officers killed were protecting people's rights to protest law enforcement. We asked Chief Buckner how he explains that phenomenon to those 31 new recruits.
The killing of anyone should not be acceptable in our community. And we should be as outraged about a young black male being wrongfully killed as we are the 5 police officers that were wrongfully killed.
Chief Buckner says so far no direct threats have been made to Little Rock police or protesters, but his officers will remain on standby throughout the weekend in case that situation changes. As tensions rise between police and the people they serve, we find many taking sides. We asked Chief Buckner how it feels to be a member of both the black and blue communities.
Until both sides care about that incident equally, we will continue to have this divided conversation about black lives and blue lives. And then we will attend funerals along the way until we get that right.
Tonight on THV11 News at 6, I'll bring you more from Chief Buckner, as well as the Little Rock District of the FBI and Little Rock's mayor on their thoughts about security in Little Rock as protests begin.
Look forward to seeing you then, Winnie. Thank you. Church members, city leaders, and law enforcement come together in Pine Bluff to raise awareness tonight. Officers thanked for their service and prayers for their safety. Prayers also for the men killed in Minnesota and Louisiana.
At the closing of the service, names of the city's homicide victims were read aloud. And this wasn't just for the recent tragedies and violence against African Americans. It was also to raise awareness to end violence of any nature.
Meantime, a police officer in Missouri is shot during a traffic stop for speeding today. A police officer shot in the Baldwin area of Missouri just after 11 this morning.
Our sister station KSDK says the officer was shot 3 times in the neck during the traffic stop. No word yet on the officer's condition or which department they work for. The suspect is in custody.
The heat continues to be a big story across our state. Temperatures today, some of the warmest we've seen so far this summer, way up into the 90s. Right now we do have a couple of thunderstorms though across North Arkansas to talk about, mainly northeastern Arkansas to be specific. A couple of those are popping up down toward Augusta, northern parts of Woodruff County, southern Jackson County. Seeing some storms there, but most of the activity is up off toward our east across Poinsett and Craighead County, extending up into Lawrence County. Temperature-wise, very hot. It's currently 101 in Hot Springs. We'll talk more about the heat and some rain chances over the weekend coming up.
Arkansans in Dallas for a church conference watched in horror from their hotel windows as the tragic scene in downtown Dallas unfolded last night. For them and others, this has been a day of mourning and a day of prayer. THV11's Caitlin Gardenhire joining us live from the Pleasant Valley Church. She lets us know how Arkansans are healing today. Caitlin.
Today, people across the country are watching the videos and reading the stories of the Dallas shootings. They're shocked, they're upset, they want to know why. We talked to 2 people from Conway, Arkansas that were in downtown Dallas at the time the shootings took place.
Security people here locked us down pretty quick.
Arkansans Donnie Parrish and Tyler Sellers from Conway were just a few miles away from a shooting that took 5 officers' lives in Dallas, attending a Bible conference when the news broke.
We could see spotlights on buildings. We could see a lot of police activity.
Parrish says his #1 concern was making sure his kids at the conference were safe.
There was folks calling here, calling their kids, calling all of our sponsors, wondering if everything's okay.
He says this incident is a scary reminder of past events.
It just brought back a lot of memories of the 60s and 70s when there was a lot of unrest in our country.
Sellers says he couldn't believe what he was seeing.
See exactly what was going on in the news right out our window.
A disturbing sight, he says, was too close for comfort.
I could see the skyline, I could see downtown, I could see the helicopters, I could see all the police cars down in the where all the chaos had happened.
Tonight, it's all about community healing. There will be a community prayer service at Pleasant Valley Church of Christ starting at 6 for all the victims involved in shootings across the nation. We hope to see you here.
Caitlin, thank you. That city still in mourning after 5 police officers were gunned down there in Dallas during a peaceful protest. 1 suspect dead. 3 others are in custody for what police are calling a well-planned attack. CBS's Danielle Nottingham joins us live with the latest. Danielle.
Well, good afternoon. Police departments across the country are on high alert today. And here in Dallas, you can feel the grief, the confusion, and the shock. The community here is calling on peace, and it's asking for the public's support.
Hundreds gathered in Dallas's Thanksgiving Square for a noontime prayer vigil following Thursday's deadly attack on the city's police force. 5 officers were killed, 7 others and 2 civilians injured when at least 1 gunman opened fire during a peaceful protest over deadly police shootings of black men in Louisiana and Minnesota.
This was a well-planned, well-thought-out, evil tragedy.
I just saw cops bending over, man. Like, it had to have been like 5 or 6 cops, I think, was all getting shot down.
1 suspect, identified as 25-year-old Micah Johnson, engaged in a long gun battle with police. After hours of negotiation, he was killed by a robot-delivered police bomb. Johnson lived in the Dallas suburb of Mesquite. He was a decorated private first class with the Army Reserves who served in Afghanistan. Before he was killed, Johnson told negotiators he acted alone.
He said he was upset about the recent police shootings. The suspect said he was upset at white people. The suspect stated he wanted to kill white people, especially white officers.
Much of the area around the shooting remains blocked off. The city's mayor spoke with President Obama, who promised federal support if needed.
There's no possible justification for these kinds of attacks or any violence against law enforcement.
The city's police chief made a more personal appeal.
We're hurting, and we need this community. We need citizens to show officers that they appreciate their sacrifice.
He says police won't rest until everyone involved is brought to justice.
Investigators say they interviewed 200 police officers and at least 12 of them fired their weapons. At this point, authorities believe there was 1 gunman. Live in Dallas, Danielle Nottingham. Dawn, back to you.
All right, Danielle, thank you. In Minnesota, angry protesters demand justice for the death of a man there killed by an officer during a traffic stop. This is the 2nd day of demonstrations for Philandro Castile outside the governor's residence in St. Paul. The 32-year-old father was shot and killed during a traffic stop Wednesday night. Castile's girlfriend live streamed the shooting's aftermath on Facebook, which investigators say is a crucial piece of evidence.
The law in the state of Minnesota gives a lot of protections to police officers.
Officer Geronimo Yanez fired the shots that killed Philandro Castile. Protesters want him to be prosecuted. The Justice Department is now monitoring the investigation, along with the shooting death of Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And today in Little Rock, a similar protest to the rally in Dallas that led to the fatal shootings. The organizers stressed it would be a peaceful protest. THV11's Erica Ferrando was there and joins us now with details.
The Black Lives Matter rally held today was one of the many held across the country this week following the police shootings in Louisiana and Minnesota. Several hundred protesters gathered at the state capitol Friday in support of the Black Lives Matter movement.
We want justice! We want justice! This is a peaceful protest.
Christian Taylor started organizing the Hands Up, Guns Down rally yesterday morning following the police shootings in Louisiana and Minnesota.
How can we stand by and just watch people kill human beings like dogs?
It was a similar protest in Dallas that led to the fatal shootings of 5 officers Thursday evening. Taylor says it was his goal to make sure this protest would remain peaceful.
We just want people to know that we can come together without it being a violent matter or anything like that. That's ridiculous.
He stressed this was not an anti-police rally.
It definitely did hurt our hearts, my heart in particular, to hear about what happened in Dallas last night. We stand with the police. We encourage the police to come out and stand with us. We just want solidarity. That's it.
We need to stop raising people to be afraid of each other, period.
Following words from protesters, they joined hands in prayer.
Our lives do matter to you, God.
Taylor says part of his goal is to mend relations between civilians and police, and that he'll continue to hold rallies like this one in the future.
Erica, thank you. Arkansans are coming together tonight to pray for our nation following the Minnesota, Louisiana, and Texas tragedies this week. Several churches holding vigils today, including Pulaski Heights Methodist. It just ended there. Sheridan Calvary Missionary is holding a vigil at 7.
And tonight at 6, David Lippman will join us live from the March for Justice at the Arkansas State Capitol. There, they'll focus on the community and creating togetherness instead of more violence.
And an Arkansas police chief, sheriff, and community activists come together for a THV11 roundtable, creating conversation about what's going on around our nation.
Oh, could it happen here? How do we deal with this? Talks of hope and healing and how to move forward tonight at 6:30.
Police officers are guardians of this great democracy, the freedom to protest, the freedom to speech, the freedom for expression. All freedoms we fight for with our lives. It's what makes us who we are as Americans. We are not going to let a coward who would ambush police officers change our democracy. We're not going to do it. Our city, our country is better than that.
Now, weather from the Crane Kia Weather Garden.
Plenty of warmth in place, that's for sure. Temperatures today back up into the upper 90s. And actually, our first triple-digit temperature of the summer has been reported from Hot Springs. So plenty of warmth out there and a little bit of a break expected later on this weekend with rain chances picking up just a little bit. Let's start you off with a look at the radar. And again, there are some storms in northeast Arkansas, and some of them stretch down toward the central part of the state, mainly in southern Independence County, northern parts of Woodruff County there. Now I can put on the lightning display here and you can see quite a bit of lightning within these cells, and mainly again to the northeast of Little Rock. And I don't expect these to affect central Arkansas, but they are packing quite a punch in some isolated spots to our north and east. And some of that storm activity will produce some clouds, which should temper our temperatures just a little bit. But I'll tell you what, it was a warm day today. 98 what ended up being our high temperature, one of the warmer days we've seen this summer so far. 96 coming in from North Little Rock. 105 is the record, and our average is 92. So obviously well above average and almost closer to that record high than where we should be. 96 currently, dew point 73. The heat index in Little Rock right now is 106, so that's what it feels like. But the wind pretty strong out of the south-southwest at 14 miles an hour. Obviously cooler where it's cloudy and there are some showers and storms. 75 degrees in Mountain Home, not bad there. 84 in Batesville, 77 in Jonesboro. Then you get to where it's sunny. It's just hot. 101 currently in Hot Springs, 93 in Mena, 96 Arkadelphia, and 97 currently in Camden. You throw in the humidity. Here are the current heat index readings. 107 here, 105 in Monticello, 108 is what it feels like both in Searcy and in Stuttgart. So for tonight, We'll see a low of only 77 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and a 20% chance of a thunderstorm. Saturday, 91. So yeah, a little cooler, but that's because of the clouds and the storm chances. 40% tomorrow under mostly cloudy skies. Sunday, a 50% chance of storms, and then it just gets hot once again, and it dries out for the most part for next week. All right, stay with us. We're coming right back.
Following recent events around the world, candidates on the presidential campaign trail have halted their appearances. Hillary Clinton postponed her campaign events in Pennsylvania today following last night's attack in Dallas. Clinton was scheduled to appear with Vice President Joe Biden to discuss the recent police-involved shooting deaths of 2 black men. Well, rival Donald Trump also canceled his campaign event in Miami today, both set to reschedule their stops at a later time. Singer Beyonce is issuing a call for political action following the recent deadly police shootings. The singer issued a letter on her website saying, quote, "These robberies of lives, we don't need sympathy, we need everyone to respect our lives." The letter urges her fans to contact local politicians. Beyonce, who is on her world tour right now, paused her show last night to honor victims of police brutality, including Alton Sterling and Philando Castile.
Well, today is the deadline for the groups to submit signatures to get initiatives on the November ballot. Initiatives include groups hoping to get casino legalization, medical marijuana, and limits on medical lawsuits. Initiated acts require over 67,000 signatures from registered voters, while proposed constitutional amendments need over 84,000. A proposal to legalize medical marijuana was approved yesterday. Arkansas is among 9 other states suing the federal government over transgender bathrooms. Public schools are required to allow transgender students to use restrooms in locker rooms conforming to their gender identity. Well, Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge says the Obama administration is using intimidation tactics in an attempt to force local schools to adopt a radical social policy that raises serious safety concerns for school-aged children. Other states include Michigan, South Carolina, and Wyoming.
Well, may the odds be in your favor. Will there be a winner? Another Mega Millions drawing happens tonight.
Yeah, plus big things are coming to the Little Rock Rangers soccer club, and it has nothing to do with the current men's team. Oh, huge news for soccer lovers in Central Arkansas.
That's right. The Little Rock Rangers Soccer Club is adding a women's team.
Yeah, after a successful inaugural season in the National Premier Soccer League, the Little Rock Rangers Soccer Club is expanding. The women's team kicks off in the spring of 2017 to be a part of the Women's Premier League.
The women's side will be coached by Jennifer Pfeiffer, who helped coach the men's team, and tryouts will happen the first part of next year.
All right, well, will there be a Mega Millions jackpot winner tonight? The jackpot has now climbed to an estimated $540 million. Tuesday night marked the 34th consecutive drawing that failed to produce a winner.
As a result, the jackpot has now become the 7th biggest of all time. The next drawing is tonight at 10 p.m. If you play, good luck.
Well, it is the final day 4 of our Be on 11 photo challenge.
Yeah, it's part of our 5-day summer photo challenge, and today's theme is My Sky.
Well, THV11 wants to see your pictures, of course. Just send them to us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Of course, use the hashtag BeOn11. And it is part 2 of our New Face Favorite Place series.
Well, we're showing you what some of our newest team members here at THV11 enjoy most about the natural state.
Yeah, today you'll hear from Marielle Ruiz, and Marielle is THV11's newest meteorologist.
Upon meeting Marielle, she is taking us along as she straps on her hiking boots and tackles a popular landmark in Little Rock. Find out more tonight on THV11 News at 6:30.
Beautiful view. That was fun. All right, well, temperature is set to feel a little cooler with rain chances over the weekend.
Ed Buckner with more coming up in his final check of the weather. Hey, you know, it was a big day for THV11's 16th annual summer cereal drive. Our 2016 goal, 300,000 boxes. Ready to hear the total?
Oh, 327,423 boxes. Unbelievable effort from you and the community, local law enforcement, and businesses around Central Arkansas. Thank you all for helping us in our efforts to fight food insecurity here in Arkansas. Wow.
And who
That's
was
incredible.
the man that brought all those people together to make it happen?
Brannon,
Tom
yeah.
Brannon.
Tom.
Yeah,
There you go.
great job. So proud.
16 years he's been doing
I
that.
know.
Getting everybody together. So way to go.
That's amazing.
Proud of you. And thanks for all that hard work. Here's a look at your forecast as we head into the weekend. Temperatures in the low 90s. Rain chances do increase tomorrow up to 40%. Okay, that's the best chance of rain we've had in some time. 50% on Sunday as well. So some scattered showers and storms. Not a washout of a weekend, but there will be some scattered rain. And then next week it all dries out and heats up again. The oven continues.
All right, well, we need the rain.
We do.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you for watching THV11 News at 5. We're back after the CBS Evening News. See you then.
Good night.
Thanks for watching THV11 News. Stay connected to the THV Information Center 24/7 on your mobile device and with the THV11 app for your iPad.
Thursday, or, oh no.